Welcome to Ethiopia Today. Our today's updates covers the following topics. It was said that the National Dialogue Commission is going in the right direction. The United Nations granted Turkey's request to change its name. Journalists said that the Ethiopian government's concerns of aid diversion by TPLF are reasonable. The African Union head tells Putin that Africans are victims of the Ukraine war. Ethiopia said to have been contributing a fair share towards ensuring healthy planet. The details are as follow, and we invite you to stay with us until the end. Many thank. National Dialogue Commission going in the right direction, says German ambassador. The National Dialogue Commission is going in the right direction to conduct a dialogue that creates national consensus, according to the German ambassador to Ethiopia, Stefan Auer. I think inclusiveness is something which the government, in particular the National Dialogue Commission, is working on. And I hope they are going in the right direction that could lead them to a national consensus in this country, he noted, according to INA's report. The ambassador believes that the national dialogue will resolve fundamental root causes of tensions and create national consensus in Ethiopia if it is inclusive to address fundamental challenges in the country. In general, national dialogues are extremely important to fundamental national consensus if they address all the fundamental questions which are the root of the tensions in the country. And another fundamental prerequisite for this national dialogue to succeed is that it has to be all-inclusive. Ambassador Auer stated that Germany, as an experienced federal country, could provide support for the internal process of national dialogue upon request. Furthermore, he pointed out that Ethiopia and Germany have excellent bilateral relations, with Ethiopia being a strategic partner and a major partner in development assistance and cooperation. The stability and prosperity of Ethiopia is therefore vital for Germany, according to the ambassador. We have excellent bilateral relations with Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a strategic partner for us. For us, stability and prosperity in Ethiopia is fundamental. And Ethiopia is one of our major partners in our development assistance and cooperation. Ambassador Auer stressed that Germany wants Ethiopia to overcome its challenges and is heavily investing in Ethiopia in different areas and forms. We want Ethiopia to succeed, and we are heavily investing in different areas of cooperation, he said. It was also learned that both countries are working on different areas, mainly education and agriculture sectors. Moreover, Germany has been one of the largest importers of coffee from Ethiopia in recent years. The United Nations granted Turkey's request to change its name from Turkey to Turkey. Stefan Dujarric, spokesman for UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, told reporters. The change came into force immediately at the time when the world body received a letter from Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu to the UN chief with a request to change the country's name, the spokesman said. Cavusoglu reportedly said that the change in the spelling was adopted as part of the steps aimed at increasing the country's prestige in the international arena. Government concerns of aid diversion by TPLF reasonable, foreign journalists said. Given the previous experiences of TPLF in aid diversion and taking its advantages of humanitarian operation for the purpose of military conflicts, it is entirely reasonable for both the government of Ethiopia and any other observers to consider the distinct possibility that this is happening again. A foreign journalist and observer of northern Ethiopia conflict said. It is to be recalled that the international community, including UN agencies, have been delivering humanitarian aid to Tigray since the past several months. However, the government of Ethiopia and other observers have been expressing concerns as to whether the aid is distributed appropriately and reaches the people in the region. Scoop independent news editor-in-chief Alastair Thompson told INA that the concerns are right, recalling the 1985 famine in Ethiopia, when TPLF diverted 95% of the $100 million aid raised to fight famine in northern Ethiopia and spent it on weapons. The group was known for its involvement in sort of circular transactions, almost like money laundering, by selling aids again and again to generate large amount of money, he revealed. Thompson also mentioned the recent reports of looting by TPLF on the warehouses of USAID, UNICEF and others in Amhara region of Ethiopia. He cited the recent research conducted by Professor Anne Fitzgerald by interviewing IDPs who fled from Tigray, revealing the fact that TPLF is using humanitarian aid for its political agenda and military purposes. This is clear evidence that TPLF is making use of UN resources for the purpose of its war efforts, he stressed, noting that the UN have never answered any questions about that. I don't think that is acceptable. The UN needs to provide an explanation about the efforts and measures they have taken to prevent the use of their supplies for helping the war efforts in the country, Thompson added. Asked whether he agrees with the concern of several observers about the absence of transparent monitoring mechanism in the humanitarian operation in Tigray to ensure that assistance has been reaching the needy people, he replied that there is no visibility of anything about it. The concerns raised by government and observes about aid diversion by TPLF should be given the proper attention by the international community. He further pointed out that the main issue related to humanitarian supply to Tigray is the lack of transparency and clarity about what is happening, what has happened, and why the deliveries are needed, and became such a politicized issue. According to him, silence by the UN is a way of supporting misinformation. The UN seems to interpret its principle of neutrality and impartiality to mean that it cannot comment on things like this. Thompson said the integrity of the UN is being questioned, adding that the UN should try to address these questions. Maybe if they can't do so, maybe the UN Secretary General or the offices of the political leadership in the UN, but somebody needs to address the questions whether or not the UN has facilitated the use of its resources in the conflict against the people of Ethiopia. The humanitarian operation in Tigray has been mismanaged from the beginning of the war, as there was a clear misunderstanding among the senior UN and US officials, the editor-in-chief stated. The UN should look into the international humanitarian operation being carried out in Tigray region of Ethiopia in order to address the concerns about the proper delivery of aid to the people in the region, he concluded. Africans are victims of the Ukraine war, EU head tells Putin. Macky Sall has told the Russian leader the ban on grain and fertilizer is causing a food crisis on the African continent, Reuters reported. Russia says the blame lies elsewhere. The head of the African Union, Macky Sall, has told Russian President Vladimir Putin that Africa was at the mercy of the war in Ukraine. Putin on Friday hosted Sall, who is also Senegal's president, and Moussa Faki Mahamat, chairman of the EU Commission, in the southern Russian city of Sochi. Our countries, even if they are far from the theater of action, are victims on an economic level, Sall told Putin. He called for a lifting of the export blockade on grain and fertilizer. Putin did not mention grain supplies, but said Russia was always on Africa's side and was now keen to ramp up cooperation. More than 44% of wheat consumed in countries on the continent comes from Russia and Ukraine, according to UN figures. Wheat prices have soared around 45% as a result of the supply disruption, according to the African Development Bank. The UN has warned that 18 million people are facing severe hunger in the Sahel, the part of Africa just below the Sahara Desert where farmers are facing their worst agricultural production in more than a decade. Another 13 million people face severe hunger in the Horn of Africa region as a result of a persistent drought. Russia controls much of Ukraine's access to its Black Sea ports, blames Kiev and the West for the resulting blockage in grain exports from the country. The mines planted by the Ukrainian armed forces hinder the export of grain, nothing else, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said. Russia also blamed Western sanctions, which were hitting its own grain and fertilizer exports because of the impact on shipping, banking, and insurance. The EU on Friday formally imposed a sixth sanctions package targeting Russian oil. Sall too blamed the West's sanctions. We no longer have access to grain from Russia, and especially fertilizer, which he said was crucial for Africa's already deficient agriculture. That really creates serious threats to the food security of the continent, Sall added. The German government has rejected suggestions that sanctions and not Moscow's war in Ukraine are to blame. The danger is very big that Russia will try, that President Putin will try to establish a narrative that it's the West that's responsible for the famine threatening Africa. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Andrea Sass said, "This is a narrative that we want to strongly resist," she added. She said the threat of famine in parts of the world was a result of the Russian war, and not the result of Western sanctions. Ethiopia contributing fair share towards ensuring healthy planet. Ethiopia has been striving to contribute its fair share towards ensuring a healthy planet on all fronts, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said in his speech to the Stockholm Plus 50 meeting held on June 2, 2022. Abiy said Ethiopia has been doing its fair share towards ensuring a healthy planet on all fronts. The Green Legacy Initiative is an exemplary, ambitious national flagship initiative launched in 2019 aiming to plant more than 20 billion tree seedlings by 2022, he added. Ethiopia proudly managed and already planted some 18 billion seedlings by the year 2021, the premier pointed out, adding that this year the nation will exceed the fourth-year milestone. At the same time, Ethiopia will surpass the set goal. It lays the foundation for generational well-being, he noted. The initiative has already paved the way for collaboration and solidarity in the sub-region that Ethiopia has been sharing its Green Legacy Initiative to neighboring countries in the spirit of unity, the PM stated. He also invited all willing partners to join Ethiopia in sustaining the green legacy journey for generations to come. According to Abiy, all have to be prepared to combat the rising environmental challenges being encountered on a regular basis. He stressed the necessity of working together, fostering cooperation and solidarity between state and non-state actors by rethinking the future through inclusivity, knowledge exchange, and learning to achieve a healthy planet for all. The Stockholm Plus 50 meeting conducted under the theme Stockholm Plus 50, a healthy planet for the prosperity of all. Our responsibility, our opportunity. Here's the end of our presentation. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bar so that you won't miss any of our exciting videos. Don't be the only one to enjoy the video. Share it with your loved ones too. Don't forget also to check out our collections on description section. May God bless Africa and its people. Many thanks.